Welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It would really help the channel to spread around and to help other people to find the videos. Hello to all my good people out there. So I'm going to be showing you a video clip of Crypto Sensei video that he did, I want to say maybe yesterday, where he's showing Jake Claver talking about the price of XRP and why the price of XRP needs to be high and how efficient XRP will be being a high price. All right, so let's just take a listen to the video.
You know I got you covered with today's Ripple and XRP news. Let's start with Jay Claver talking about efficient transactions on the XRP ledger.
He says, is there a set amount of XRP needed to move a set amount of money? Do we know it makes more sense for XRP to be high priced? The fee is fixed on the network, and the higher the price of XRP is, the more money it can move for the less amount of XRP. So as an example, right now, if let's say XRP was $1 instead of what it is, it's higher than that. But if it was $1, you need 1 million XRP to move $1 million. And this is an example that David Schwartz said, you could use 1 million XRP to move $1 million, or if the XRP was $1 million a piece, then you would just need 1 XRP to move $1 million. So the network and the asset become much more efficient as the price increases of the asset, and it's really programmed to be around $10,000 is where it starts to reach some of its efficiencies. And so that's where I think it'll be in the next 48, well, probably less than that, next 24 months.
Next 24 months, when this clip was recorded, I don't know exactly when Jake released this. It does look like they just released it on April 14th, but Jake looks a little younger in this clip. So I don't know if this was maybe last year or if maybe Jake's just looking, pretty young in that clip. I don't know what it is, but $10,000 in the next, 2 years. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comments. So here is.
All right, guys. So I don't know what you thought about the clip. Maybe you thought the same thing I thought. However, this is something that I have been talking about. He talked about the fact that the fee to use XRP is set. The thing about it is, when they talk about the fee being set, yes, it is set. Just like when you pay your taxes, it is a set tax rate that you pay, right? Everyone. However, the more money you make is the more taxes you pay, but it's the same rate. So even though it's the same rate, and I don't recall how much the tax rate is, when you're getting paid, I don't recall that. I can't remember at this time. I know I'm not looking it up. So I'm just going to pick a number, right? So let's say, right, there's a set tax limit of 20% when you have to pay your taxes when you get paid from work, right? Well, a person that's making $200,000 is not going to pay the same amount of tax as someone that's making $100,000. And the person that's making $50,000 is not going to pay the same amount of tax as the person that's making $100,000 or $200,000. Now, it's the same tax rate, but they're not all going to pay the same amount in taxes. Why? Because the amounts are different. The amounts are different, right? So because the amounts are different, 20% of 200,000 is different from 20% of 100,000, and 20% of 50,000 is different from 20% of 100,000 and 200,000. So no, we're all paying 20%. However, I'm paying more because I'm making more. The same thing applies to XRP. Yes, there is a set limit on the fee. However, the lower the price of the coin, the higher the tax fees are, because the fees are basically like a tax. So the lower the price of the coin is, the higher the fees are, due to the fact that you have to use more coins in order to execute that payment. However, if the price of the coin is higher, right, now you have to use less coins, which will be less fees you have to pay. This is the one thing that people need to understand. The higher the coin, the lower the fee burn. The higher the coin, the higher the coin, the lower the fee burn, right? I hope I got that right. So the lower the price of the coin is, the higher the fee burn, And the higher the coin, the price of the coin, is the lower the fee burn is. That's just how it works. Also, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, like, Crypto Sensei, this guy, like, he's not a sensei at all. I don't know why he gave himself that name. He's looking at the video and he's like, Jake Claver looks younger. I don't care how younger the guy looks. That has nothing to do with it. But he's trying to reference that to say he doesn't know when this video came out. The video clearly says April 13, 2025. Also, in the video, Jake Claver says he compares using $1 million across the XRP ledger. And if XRP is $1, right, they would have to use 1 million XRP, because he's basically using the same example that I have been using in numerous of my videos when it comes to David Schwartz. But he said that part, and then after that he says, well, the price of the coin is higher now. Well, if the price of the coin is higher now, obviously this came out just the other day. Like, what are you talking about? Sometimes he be talking like he's not all the way here, which is crazy. But he's giving you, Jake Claver is talking about it. And this is something I've been talking about, right? David Schwartz already said if they have to move $1 billion and XRP is $1, they would have to use 1 billion XRP. But if XRP is $10,000, they would only have to use 100,000 XRP to move the same $1 billion. That's what he's saying. He just used different numbers. But that's basically what he's saying. And I've been saying this. Why is now this guy acting like this is something new? And I have been saying this. Ever since I started the channel, I've been saying this. Again, these are the people that everyone want to listen to, which is crazy. Jack Claver also mentions about the fact that XRP price is going to be set at 10,000, and when it's set at that price, the coin will be more efficient, which is another thing I have also mentioned as well, right? About how efficient it will be at a higher price. A higher price coin makes it more efficient, and that's what we need. A higher price coin to be efficient. It would help with the fees. It would help with the way the money moves. A lower price coin is not going to be efficient. It's not going to help the system at all. It's not going to do anything for the system. But he mentions that. Then he also says that, within the next 24 months. Well, hold your horses there, Jake Claver. Not the next 24 months. The things need to happen now. It's going to happen now, sometime this year. What's going on in the system right now? I don't know. But it has to happen now, because people are ready to go now. Countries are ready to go now. All of the holding back and pausing and, they're disrupting everything and they have everybody looking all over the place. All of this is a game. It has to happen sometime soon, but they just don't want everyone to know that and be prepared for that. They want to catch you off balance. They want to catch you off guard. This is the whole reason why they're doing what they're doing, is to have you where you are not able to plant your foot properly, so that when it happens, they catch you totally off guard and your reaction is going to be what they want it to be, which is to sell everything so that they can capture it all. That's what they want. Because if they catch you off guard, they catch you by surprise, the first thing you might do is sell everything, because they just caught you off guard. You wasn't prepared. You didn't know what to do. But hopefully, if you're listening to me, you understand what you need to do and what you should do. Hopefully, because I have been talking about this for so long. So that's that video. We're gonna look at another clip. Let me pull the other clip up. So in this clip, we're gonna be taking a look at Monica Long. She's the president of Ripple. And she's going to be talking about the RLUSD coin and, how they're going to use it and how they're going to be using it, right? So they're going to talk about that. So let's take a listen to this.
The stablecoin market is $160 billion and is projected to grow to $3 trillion by 2028. To meet this growing demand, there's a need for stablecoins that will prioritize regulatory compliance, increase diversification, and drive utility. And that's where Ripple USD comes in. For years, Ripple specialized in building blockchain solutions for financial institutions. For example, we use stablecoins in our products like Ripple Payments. We also lead with a compliance-first mindset and are a trusted partner to financial institutions across the globe. The launch of Ripple stablecoin is a natural step for us to continue to bridge the gap between traditional finance and blockchain. The stablecoin market is big, it's growing, and it's global, just like Ripple.
All right, so she spoke about the fact that the stablecoin market is $160 billion. But I don't know if any of you noticed that she looks as if she's reading from like some type of cards or something, right? That's how she's looking. So it doesn't seem like she's talking off the top of her head. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No, not really. But it does tell me that you have to stick to a script because you can't go off script. That's what it does tell me. I don't know if it says the same for you, but that's what it says for me. So she spoke about that, which I don't know why they keep on talking about this and making it such a big deal because none of that matters. She also spoke about the fact that they're using RippleNet and that they're utilizing the stable coins within the RippleNet. And that's, how they get the payments done inside of RippleNet. Now, I don't know if any of you guys heard about XRPayNet, right? I'm going to show you right here XRPayNet up on the screen. This is a screenshot of XRPayNet on CoinMarketCap. You can go there, and if you're able to find where to buy it, I would say buy it. It's cheap, it's cheap. And because I personally think, this is just my personal thought and my personal theory, I think that XRPayNet has something to do with Ripple Pay, the Ripple payment system that they use. That's what I think. I think both of them are together in some way. I don't know. I haven't done a deep dive into it, but I just feel like that because XRPayNet, Ripple payments platform or whatever it is, I think those two coins, two coins, sorry, not two coins, but I think the XRPayNet coin is associated with the Ripple payment system. That's just my thought. That's my, my belief. But you can feel free to go check it out. They have a whole website and everything. You can go check it out if you don't know about it. And if you want to throw some money in something, you don't even need to put any big money. Little, $10 in there, get you a nice little bundle of it. You all right. But when it comes to the stablecoin talk, personally, I think that Ripple created their own stablecoin, not for all of the reasons that they're saying, in my personal opinion. I feel like one of the big reasons is the fact that they were not able to use USDC the way they wanted to because they're going to be moving large sums of money, large amounts of money, and USDC is not going to be able to help them do that because USDC is going to be working with so much other different platforms, right? And having to move stablecoin money for them, that I don't personally think that Ripple, with the amount of money they're going to be moving at one time, the amount of money they have to settle, I don't think that none of these other stablecoin companies were going to be able to help them. So I think that they were put in a position where they had to do that. That's just my personal opinion, right? That's one of the big reasons, I think. The other reasons that they give, yes, that could be a part of it, right? The whole compliant and all that stuff, USDC is compliant as well. I mean, you could go look it up, right? USDC is compliant. Also, you have Paxos. They have the Pax dollar. They're also very much compliant. If you go look it up, right? They're very much compliant. So there's a good bit of stable coins that are compliant with the whole market. But I just feel like XRP had to go that route, creating their own stable coins, because, again, all of the money they have to move, those trillions of dollars that they have to move and settle every day, one company who's dealing with other companies outside of Ripple could not do that. So the smartest thing for them, in my opinion, will be to create their own stablecoin. Okay, because now when I create my own stablecoin and I bring this value onto the ledger, I can create how much ever coins I need based on the amount of value I have on the blockchain. That's one of the other key things I think people also miss, is that these stable coins cannot get created unless there's a certain amount of value on the blockchain to be able to create a certain amount. So if Ripple, let's say they have, $100 billion, they can create up to $100 billion worth of stable coins. They can't create more because they don't have any more value on the ledger right now that we know of, right? But that's how the stablecoin stuff works. But I just wanted to go through these two videos right quick. That video with Monica Long was a old video, but I just wanted to, take a look at that and just talk about it a little bit. All right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. I'm Thomas Bain. I'm out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of worrying about your precious crypto floating around in cyberspace, unprotected? Well, worry no more. Introducing the Biometric Hardware Wallet, a safe, snazzy, and oh-so-secure way to store your digital treasure. Remember, folks, not your keys, not your crypto. This little beauty puts you back in control. It's sleek, it's secure, and it uses your unique fingerprint. So even if someone steals it, they won't get far without you. Click my affiliate link below to grab yours today, and let's keep your crypto as safe as your grandma's cookie jar. Don't miss out.